Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Oh, I should turn my cup around so you can see I actually have a C on my cup. Thank you for being here. A little tongue-in-cheek today, I think, if you saw the title. It's just 4 inches. This episode is about height and some of the must-haves, desires of female clients regarding height of the partner that they would like to meet. I wanted to share some facts, some statistics, some studies, some information on this height situation, and I think I would start with telling you that some women are height obsessed, and I'm going to share with you some great reasons to not be height obsessed. But also to start, I wanted to share with you that only 14.5% of men in the United States are over 6 feet tall. 6 feet tall or taller, actually. Only 14.5% of men are 6 feet, make it to that benchmark of 6 feet. And if you take the world, and then, that drops down to really like single digit low numbers of men who are over 6 feet tall. So opening up your parameters here, opening up your desires and your needs and your must-haves and wants would really kind of open up the whole world of men to you, let's say. Let's talk about this. That's what's on the agenda. The average height for women in the United States, by the way, is 5'4", which is my height on my driver's license. But honestly, I've never been more than 5'3 3/4". But I'm just below average in just that way. Every other way, well above average, I'm sure. The average height of men in the United States is 5 feet 9 inches tall. And half of all men are 5 feet 8 inches tall, which is how I came up with my title, 5'8", 9, 10, 11, 6 feet tall. It's only 4 inches. Worldwide, the average height of men is 5'7.5". So this 6 foot benchmark is a very small group of people who have tall parents or just got something tall in their DNA gene, the gene pool there. So let's just talk a little bit about you if you believe in soulmates. I do not. I'm not a soulmate person. I don't buy that because I think there's lots of other stuff that comes along with believing you have a soulmate that is not in your best interest. I will link to that for you right here if you want to know why I think that and what you should be on the lookout for and avoid doing if you are a soulmate believer. But if you do believe in soulmates, how could you possibly be certain of what size package your soulmate is going to come in? You don't. And I know so many people who are very surprised by that package and the height that it arrives in. I know lots of stories of women having met their partner with a list, with a priority of a specific height, and their partner is nowhere near making that benchmark height that they were so intent on finding, because you know that in the end it really matters who the person is and the qualities they have and the connection you share. So I think the thing to remember is that if you can stretch or flex or bend those rules that you've made for yourself around height, you open up a world of more possibilities. And you know what happens? The more people you meet, you know what that means for you? The more likely you are to meet someone that you connect with. So every inch that you add to take it 1 inch lower than what you must have right now today is definitely going to work in your best interest. Let me see. Challenge. We matchmakers have to talk about this all the time because it is one of the things we go through during intake, a welcome meeting, screening calls with potential matches for our client. People have clicked off all these boxes. What age they want to meet, how far, how tall, what ethnicities, what type of education, all these things come into play. And sometimes it can be very unreasonable. Somebody got mad at me once for saying that she was 5 feet 1 and she only wanted to date men over 6 feet. And I was kidding around because I had a brand new client who was herself 6 feet tall. And I said, leave the guys who are over 6 feet for my gals who are 6 feet. And she got mad at me. But to each their own, right? You know I did not mean that in a mean way. I was kidding around, obviously. But she didn't see it as funny, I suppose, and that's fine. What I really truly meant is that we do have women who are taller and taller, and if they do want some guy who is even just an inch taller than them, that 6 foot benchmark is truly not an unreasonable ask for those gals. It's not unreasonable for anybody, but if it's only this height and above and there's no flexibility, it's just very limiting. Number one, I wanted to also point out that if that is not at the top of your list of priorities, then you have room there to prioritize something that's going to actually be more beneficial for the success and compatibility of this relationship, right? Your list, take one thing off the list and you have room to focus more on the others. And if that is perhaps somebody who's family oriented, has a great relationship with their family, you think they'd be awesome with yours, and also a great parent to future children or to the children you have now, or a great grandparent to your grandchildren, that might become more of a focus for you than where your head hits when you're standing next to him. And that leads me into asking why. I think it's important that if you're out there dating and you have parameters that are set at a specific height, that you question this yourself. Very often it's because somebody wants to feel small. They want to feel tiny next to this person. They want to feel maybe protected. So sometimes I will ask, if this is about protection and feeling like this other person is the stronger, bigger person of the two of you, what if I were to just find you somebody who was broader instead of somebody who you felt was more slight or narrow across the chest or shoulders? Maybe what you need instead isn't somebody who's taller, but somebody who's a little bit wider, or a bigger guy, right? With a thicker neck and a broader chest. Maybe these are things that would give you some of those feelings you're looking for by trying to find men who are taller. And sometimes we've been able to find great matches by lowering the height requirement by an inch or two, and instead focusing on some of the other body types that maybe she wasn't getting with taller guys, and she was still able to feel the way that she wanted to feel. And this has happened more than once, so the way they wanted to feel in a dating situation with a partner. And finally, to wrap up this little section here, I would want to remind you that height does not equal masculinity. So those broader guys, shorter, smaller guys, sometimes can be very, very masculine and have a very masculine energy that so many women talk about and think that they would really like in a partner. Somebody with a take charge attitude who's confident and can handle situations, not always traditional gender roles, but just that masculine energy that they can feel from that person. And that comes in all different size packages. So if that's what you're looking for, I remind you, height is not the only way you can come upon that masculine energy. And now I'm going to share with you some fun facts about men who are under 6 feet tall, trying to nudge you in a direction where you can open up your dating pool to be meeting even more men and meeting more men that you could connect with and start a life with, sharing with this person. So number one, kissing is comfier and less awkward with a man who's not way, way taller than you or necessarily over 6 feet tall. And this always reminds me of a gal, a client of mine early on, who had a lot of things she wanted on her list. And most of them were qualities, and all great qualities, and I understood all of that. And I just had a feeling when we got to height that she was petite, little 5'2" maybe, and I thought she was going to come back that she wanted a tall guy. And instead she surprised me and said that she wanted somebody who was within an inch or two of her own height, up or down. And I said, oh, that's interesting. What is your rationale, or what are the reasons that that's important to you? And she said that she wanted somebody who, when they were standing face to face, nose to nose, she could grab their face and kiss them right here or right here, that they were kissing was going to be super easy and fun for her. So people are different, and don't make assumptions that because you think that's a priority or a desirable trait that everybody agrees with you, because not everybody does. We're all uniquely different with different things we're looking for, and thank goodness, because otherwise we'd all be out looking for the exact same person and there'd be no room for all of our beautiful differences. Number two fun fact, I would remind you that scientifically speaking, there has been no correlation between height and penis size. Also, if you're closer to the same height as one another and adventurous in that area of physical affection, I would remind you that being closer to the same height allows you to try more positions that wouldn't work with a huge disparity between someone who's very tall and someone who's very not. Number 3, shorter men live longer. On average, about 2 years longer than men who are taller. Number 4, newsflash here, fun fact, you don't need to feel tiny in order to feel sexy. That's on you. And finally, number 5, shorter men are less likely to get divorced, have their marriage end in divorce. And I think that they don't have a definitive answer on why that is the case, but it has been surmised that that has to do with having empathy. Gives you much better odds of a better understanding of each other, and obviously a better success in navigating the challenges of a marriage. And then to wrap up here, I wanted to share that I had a client who was not a tall fella. He was below average height for a man. And I remember him saying to me, I said, we were exchanging wardrobe details to help them find each other on a blind date. I have to do that if I don't have a reservation. I shared what she was wearing. I must have said she was wearing flat sandals or something. And he said, please tell her that if she enjoys wearing heels, by all means, feel comfortable to wear heels. I think he knew how tall she was, and she was a little taller than him. He said, I love a woman in heels. So that right there just tells me that he's a confident man, and he thinks that heels on a woman are sexy, I would suppose. They do something to the shape of a leg, and very, very bad things to our feet. But regardless of that, he did not want her to feel that she could not feel however she wanted to feel on a date because of him, right? To take away the joy of getting dressed up for a date and feeling like you want to or looking like what you want to. And I actually have had quite a few male clients who have said, when I've questioned them about the height of the women they want to meet, their height parameters go all the way up to 6 feet or taller. They have no problem dating women who are taller. As long as she's okay with dating him, they're good. It always makes me think of Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley, the supermodel, but there are a lot of other couples that you'll see, famous people. The woman is so much taller than the man. I think it looks cute personally. I think it looks super loving, actually. It just tells me that this person was looking for more than where that little stick comes out at the doctor's office, or a pencil mark on the wall, or having to strain in order to kiss somebody. They were looking for qualities, and this person had some great qualities that either mattered more or superseded their height requirement for a partner. And then before I let you go, I'm going to challenge you just a wee bit here if you're out there dating. If you're on the dating apps and you get to fill out the little spinny wheel, or I have to put in a height number, and you are a woman and your height parameter is currently set to some number, whatever that is, I encourage you to take it down 1 inch. Not 4, just 1. And it will open up so many opportunities to meet men that you would not be meeting by having that cutoff point at whatever it's at now. Do you take the challenge, the 1 inch challenge? Let me know down in the comments section. Hope you found this interesting, these little fun facts and or enlightening in some way, and that you'll subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Hit the ring bell, then you're notified every time I upload a new episode. I'd appreciate that, and I would look forward to having you back again soon. Until next time, have a good one.